Hi, yeah, I'm Trevor Broom. I went to Ford Primary School in the 1960s.
Hi, I'm Peter McCartney, and I also went to Ford Primary in the 60s.
Well, let's hear your stories, boys.
Well, I was just recounting that I recently met with Mr. Dave Bennett, who was my primary school teacher, and we recounted a story of going to Paignton Zoo on a school trip, and one of the children had his overcoat eaten by the elephant at Paignton Zoo, and we thought it was hilarious.
Yes, and I remember that it's one of the Benny brothers, and I can't remember. And he used to live down north, down Gardens, and I can't remember which one it was, but I remember seeing the coat being snarled up in the trunk, trying to be pushed down this elephant's throat.
Holy health and safety.
It was funny.
But something I wasn't aware of at the time, being a child, speaking to Mr. Bennett, he said that on the return to Plymouth, the boy's mother was distraught because that coat wasn't just the kid's coat; it was the family coat.
It was, yes.
It was handed from.
That's right. Yeah.
And she said the family coat is gone, but Mr. Johnson, who was the head teacher at Ford then,
Yes.
he made a phone call to North Road Station, the found property, and said, "Do you have an overcoat?" They said, "Yeah, we've got several." So he drove in, explained the situation, and came back with an overcoat. So their family overcoat was restored.
Was it the same colour?
But that was a nice story because Mr. Bennett was a really nice guy.
Well, he was, yes.
And
He
Mr.
was-
Johnson was a gentleman, I think.
Yeah.
He lived up the road from me at the time.
That's right, at Mile House, yeah.
And that story really reflects the time, the era, doesn't it? That would never happen today.
No, and he's like Mr.
Barry?
Mr. Barry.
Lovely guy.
Yes,
Lovely man.
absolutely. He used to live up in Mile House, up on the main road going up to Stoke.
11 it was.
Yeah,
11
and-
Outland Road or something.
Yeah, and he took a group of us up to his house, took us round the back because we were all into plant work. He made us all interested in plants, and he had in his greenhouse he had loads of cacti, and he showed us all these cacti because some of these cacti only flowered like once every so many years, and he explained all this to us. It was a wonderful experience. I remember it well, and you daren't put your finger on one because you go ow. yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And of course today that would be harder to do, wouldn't it? With what do they call it? Protection and
Or you're going to be able to
Yeah,
take your kids back to your house, would you? No.
anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah, I can remember Mr. Johnson, we were over at Maker Camp, staying over there, but I had to swim in the Plymouth School swimming gala. So I had to get from Maker Camp back to Mount Wise, swim in the event, and then Mr. Johnson kindly gave me a lift back to Maker Camp. So yeah, it's happy days really.
Can you remember swimming at Ballards?
Not
you
with
ever
the.
learn
Not, I never went with the school. We always went to Mount Wise in the
Wise.
freezing cold,
yeah.
and I've still 440 yards certificate, and I must have had hypothermia. I'm
It
sure.
was grim, wasn't it?
It was on a double-decker bus, wasn't it? And remember going down Victory Street? You go down, there was a big dip at the bottom. So as it hit the dip at the bottom, you stand up. So way.
But
And the
I remember.
bus driver used to speed up for that one.
But I remember being at the school one day when the bus turned up for us to go to Mount Wise, and the bus driver was an uncle of mine. Wow, my esteem went up amongst all my schoolmates because I knew the bus driver. It was like he was the airline pilot or something like that. But yeah, so I sat in the front. It was really good.
I think most of us learnt at Mount Wise, didn't we? Remember going to the tuck shop or a little hole in the wall thing, wasn't it? Yeah. And you get the barley sugar sweets.
Cup of Oxo
Yeah.
and Ron Dooney's pasty if you were.
Yeah. Oh, they were awesome, Ron Dooney's, weren't
What
they?
about a lady with a large pole? Can you remember the pole?
She was called, she had a plastic apron. She was called Mrs. Strong.
Really?
And she taught me to swim, but she was cruel. She was really cruel. Yeah, happy days.
They were good days, weren't they?
They're really good days. Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
You're welcome.